Hey guys, this is Camfrey15 and I'm back at it with another video for you guys. And we are finally freaking back with some ReZero after it went on, I guess you can say, break or hiatus till obviously the start of Winter Anime 2021. I'm glad to be back reviewing ReZero because this show, man, dude, this show was great, and I'm just so happy to see the continuation here of this series and what this season, this back half of this season is going to have to offer. We're going to see things because, man, this episode was great today. What a great episode. It seems like Subaru has a plan. He's going to get his help, and it's looking like he's going to try to do his thing by trying to not only save the people in the sanctuary, but also save the people from the mansion. Jesus, man. It's been a long time since we got ReZero. Like, what? Like, ReZero, it stopped airing in, I believe, September or October? I don't remember, but it doesn't matter. We're back here. It's a new year in time for ReZero. So this is ReZero Season 2, Part 2, but this is episode 14. But anyways, let's get to it. Now, where we last left off, which was very, very many months ago in a very, very bad year, last year, we know that Subaru got essentially all the confirmations from Roswaal about he was really the main culprit behind everything going on and stuff like that. We found out that he was the dude who forced Amelia to do all this stuff. He was the dude who actually sent Elsa and Maylee to essentially raid the mansion area and stuff like that. As well as we also find out he's the person calling the Great Rabbit or calling the snow for the Great Rabbit to come and then yada yada kill everybody in the sanctuary. And then obviously after seeing all that, Subaru runs out and he's lost beyond his mind. And then the last episode, episode 13, ended off with Otto essentially, confronting him. So this week we pick up from that conversation many months ago, and Otto essentially tells Subaru that, look, man, he's essentially telling Subaru, and Subaru's trying to get into a fight with Otto, but Otto's easily taking him down. And Otto's like, bruh, you're trying to fight, and you're flailing your arms all over the place. You're doing all sorts of crazy motions. I freaking got the advantage against you. Like, he's freaking giving him hip tosses and everything, man. Like, he's absolutely schooling Subaru here. And essentially, he got him pinned down, and then Otto's like, dude, listen, it's okay to ask for help. You don't have to do things all by yourself, which is what Otto was trying to tell Subaru here. He's trying to tell him, like, dude, you don't have to do all this, stuff by yourself. You want to impress the girl you love, right? Well, it's okay, to ask for help. It doesn't make you any more weaker than it already does and stuff like that. And he constantly brings up the fact, like, listen, if you want to get to where you want, it's just the girl to appreciate the person, you want the girl who you love to appreciate the person you are, it's okay to ask for help from time to time and stuff like that. And essentially, he wants to help Subaru. And Subaru, he goes on to mention, because he remembers the fact that Roswaal didn't help him, and even Echidna, when he even asked for help, he kind of turned her down because her ways of helping essentially leads him to a whole different route that he probably doesn't want to take. And essentially Subaru tells Otto back, like, bruh, I've done that. I have asked for help. But Otto's like, you never asked me for help. I'm your friend, man. You can trust me on this. So he gets up, and then eventually Subaru's like, listen, dude, you won't believe everything I have to say. Everything that's going on. And this is when they come with the plan. Now, we know there's a new opening in this back half of the season. One, it sucks that we didn't get the opening, because I really wanted to see the freaking opening for this second half of the season. They didn't give it to us in the first half of the season, or the first half of this episode, like they would do. But the total run of this episode was like 28 minutes long, so I guess it's consistently with the thing is, well, we won't get you an opening, but the benefit to getting an opening is you get longer, you get a longer episode. So hopefully maybe next week we see the new opening, because I did listen to the opening theme. It actually sounds like a really good damn song. So I just want to see the visuals and the animation for the opening and stuff like that. So that's going to be something interesting to watch for. But they do have the same ending song, which is Memento. I forgot the person who does it, but I actually do like the ending song. And I like the way how they put the ending into the freaking end of the episode. It's pretty cool. So I'm shocked. I thought they would get a new ending, but no, the ending is still the same as the first half of season 1. Okay. So it's also implied here, especially when I get later in the episode. I don't know if this is the truth. I don't know if something going on that now Subaru can apparently tell people he can return by death. Well, in a way where he's not saying I can return by death. Like maybe he can say like I die and then I can come back again and stuff like that. Because apparently it seems that Otto might know this thing, because there are several hints that Otto knows potentially maybe the plan, and it seems like he told him everything. But okay, maybe he didn't. Maybe he just told him, yeah, I talked to the freaking echidna and stuff like this, and told him everything that was going on and stuff like that. Or maybe he used the term, I saw this in a different reality or something like that. So yeah. Anyways, we see Subaru essentially bust the door open talking to Roswaal, and essentially he tells Roswaal that regardless whatever you freaking do, I'm going to save the people of the sanctuary, and I'm going to save the people in the mansion and stuff like that. And he puts a bet on the line by saying this, that if he succeeds and gets past this whole ordeal, Ross will have to throw away that book he has behind his little pillowcases, and he's gonna have to come with him to help him make Amelia the new ruler of obviously the area they're in, and he wants his help to do it. Now Roswaal, funny enough, Roswaal, everything Subaru said or Roswaal says, Subaru counters back at him, and essentially Roswaal's like, shit, he's got me in a freaking chess game and match. So Roswaal, even though he kind of is like, well, okay, fine, I'll agree to your little bet, but it's not going to work. You think you're gonna come through with it, but okay, I'd like to see you try and fail all over again and stuff like that. So we find out this. Subaru has to eventually fix all this situation, get past this whole issue in essentially 3 days. So the raid and the snow coming essentially come on the same day, which is the 3rd day. So in 3 days, the snow will come in the sanctuary, and in 3 days, the attack by Melee and Elsa on the mansion will happen. So he has 3 days to fix all this thing and get past this issue, which, again, Subaru, before he leaves, he's like, I will save the sanctuary and the mission. Now, I don't know if he'll be able to do that. I still believe, because if you checked out my previous ReZero reviews, and I think I said this in my first half season finale, is that I really do believe Subaru is going to have to make a sacrifice. He's going to have to give somebody. I feel like he's going to have to either give it the people of the sanctuary or the people at the mansion. I feel like that is going to be the end goal, which will teach him, like, listen, yes, you got returned by death, but you can't save everybody. At some point, you're going to have to make a sacrifice, and you're going to have to live with it. That's what he's obviously doing with the whole Rem situation as well. So, yeah. So, anyways, what happens next after that is, after he's done talking to Roswaal, he kind of talks to Ram, and Ram essentially is like, oh, yeah, that's wonderful and all and stuff like that, but my stance won't change regardless where you're standing at, and regardless, what you're going to be doing. So, okay, fine, do what you need to do, but I'm not going to change my stance, even though even Subaru was like, but then you hear what Roswaal said, and Ram is like, okay, fine, whatever. But Ram does give him a hint saying that Amelia can't do the same thing, otherwise she cannot pass the trial. In other words, telling Subaru that you might need to talk to her if you want progress to be made on your so-called plan, which eventually we see later in the episode. Now, before we actually get that Subaru and Amelia scene, we actually see Subaru go to the little Ryuzu Blima type of thing Ryuzu Meyer type of, I guess, gravesite. And he runs into another Ryuzu. Now, Subaru asks Ryuzu for help, and Ryuzu, after Subaru says, like, you don't want me to liberate the sanctuary, don't you? Now, Ryuzu is like, well, you're wrong about that, but you're not too off-putting about it at the same time. So, yeah, now, what happens is she eventually asks Subaru what's his thoughts on Garfield. Now, Subaru says that there's no avoiding a clash with him because he knows that he's got the witches sent all over him, and Garfield obviously is ticked off and doesn't like the fact that he's got the witches sent all over him and stuff like that. But Subaru does make a mention of the fact that he wants to know more about him. Now, we also find out more about this Ryuzu. This Ryuzu's last name is called Ryuzu Arma. So this is obviously a different Ryuzu because Subaru remembers the fact that the Ryuzu Blima essentially told him that, yeah, there are 4 other Ryuzu creators are the first 4 original ones. And we see that the first 4 original ones all have black cloaks. The other ones have white cloaks, but we find out an interesting thing here coming up in a few seconds. Now, we find out the fact that, yes, there are 4, but now there's currently 3 because one of them actually did something and broke a contract, and that is Ryuzu Shima. And the issue was 10 years ago, she caused a problem and was removed from supervision, which makes it again only 3 Ryuzus watching over the whole, I guess you could say, clone reproduction type of thing going on. Subaru asks why, and essentially, Ryuzu Arma says that Ryuzu Shima violated the contract with Echidna by entering the graveyard. So 1, they're not supposed to enter the graveyard. That was the rules put in place by Echidna. Now the reason why she did that was to save Garfield when he was taking the trial. And the reason why, and it's said here that Garfield broke the rules and took the trial and he didn't return. Now this is when we kind of get more into the backstory of Garfield, and I guess you could say Frederica, because Ryuzu Arma asks, okay, so what do you know about young Gar and stuff like that? And then he recalls everything that Frederica told him. We know the fact that they have 2 different last names and stuff like that. And this is when we find out that Frederica and Garfield's mother essentially just completely dipped for the outside world, outside the sanctuary, and left them at a very young age, which I'm guessing is what the thing is. And then we also really know that Frederica eventually left as well and stuff like that. And that's when, Subaru calls back to the time when he was talking to Echidna, that when Echidna told him that Garfield fears the outside world, makes more sense now and stuff like that. And Subaru kind of puts it down, saying that he might see that why Garfield does not want to liberate the sanctuary because of the bitterness of his mom for leaving and stuff like that. And Ryuzu Arma is like, well, who knows if it's frickin' the reason, if it's because of, anger or sadness. That's something you're gonna have to ask Ryuzu Shima. Now, Ryuzu Shima is the one Ryuzu clone always hanging out with Garfield, the one in the white cloak and stuff like that. So, yeah. Now, this one we get a very nice scene between Subaru and Amelia. And essentially, this one Subaru asks her, like, yo, what's going on? What are you seeing in your trial? Listen, I understand, you don't want to go through this, but the only way I can help you is if you talk to me here and stuff like that. So it was really nice of Subaru to do all that and stuff like that. Now, we find out a bunch of things. Now, listen, I'll just say this. Good thing I watched the Frozen Bond OVA / Amelia special, or movie, whatever you want to call it. Because literally, if you want to get more understanding what's kind of going on in these little quick flashback stuff, you have to go watch this movie. You can go watch it in Crunchyroll or Verve. That's where you're able to access it. Obviously, you can watch it free of charge on there. I know if you want to watch the English dub version, you're gonna have to, I think, have a premium account for it. But if you have yet to see the Frozen Bonds OVA, which explains a little bit into the backstory of Amelia and how her and Puck became friends, and stuff like that. You have to go watch that special. Now watching that special like only 2 days ago makes my eyes completely understand what's going on. And if you're confused, you have to go watch that special to get a bit more understanding. I won't spoil what happens or takes place in that special, but you have to go watch the Frozen Bonds special to understand what Amelia is talking about or what you're seeing here, because some of the scenes they put in here are actually from that special. So go see it. I honestly think it's really good, so you should check it out and stuff like that. So this is when we find out that Roswaal made a promise to Amelia that he would thaw the ice in an effort if she were to win or compete in the election, essentially. And Amelia's like, that's kind of a selfish desire, huh? But Subaru's like, that's not selfish. I think it's pretty admirable that you want to save people, and I think it's pretty noble that you want to save some people to do this and stuff like that. So that's really freaking nice. So eventually she goes back to sleep after Subaru goes talking to her and stuff like that. Now, Subaru is like, there's only one guy I need to talk to in this whole instance. So in an effort to, I guess you can say, get him to brought out, it looked like Subaru was gonna, like, I guess you can say, choke Amelia out. But then lo and behold, Puck comes. Well, Puck doesn't come out yet at this point, but he's talking to Subaru, and he's like, I'm glad that you called upon me and stuff like that. So this one we get the emotional scene between Puck and Amelia. Now, Puck is back, but the thing is, he is much more smaller, and he goes on to tell Amelia that he was trying to break their contract. Now, this gets Amelia freaking upset and emotional and sad and everything. And, Puck tells her, like, listen, I wish I could tell you if I had some time, but I can't tell you, and stuff like that. He goes on to mention the fact that when our contract is done, the seal will break on your memories when the contract is done, and you'll actually remember, the key points in your memories and stuff like that. And after he kind of vanishes, she passes out and is unconscious, which is what Ryu Tsushima and Garfield eventually talk about what happened to Amelia. And essentially Garfield doesn't give two shits, I guess, about the feelings of what's going on with Amelia, so he kind of walks on out and stuff like that. Now, it cuts back again over to Amelia and Subaru, and essentially this is when we get a nice little shipping moment between the two, but it's still a nice moment between the two where, Amelia again is pouring her heart out to Subaru, and she's essentially asking Subaru, like, yo, can you hold my hand and stay with me till morning? Now, Subaru's part of his plan. Now, Subaru's part of the plan, I'm guessing he left after she reawakens and stuff like that. But listen, if you're telling me a cute girl like Amelia is like hold my hand and stay with me till morning, I don't care. I'd probably ask, okay, that's easy. Two, I'd probably be like, is it okay if I get in the same bed and we just snuggle so then we feel much more comfortable? But that's just me. But I think any guy who would have a girl say to them, could you stay with me till morning? I think that would definitely be something they would all do. Hold on a quick second, guys. Okay, so back from that quick little break. I had to charge my laptop, but okay. Anyways, yeah, it was a nice little moment between the two. I really thought it was endearing and sweet that, that happened. But funny enough, Amelia starts recalling her memories, and she sees when she was a young girl, this other older woman named Mother Fortuna essentially said, like, look, I'm sorry, I'm doing all this, and they're gonna judge you and all this stuff. Which, okay, we're getting more backstory to what's going on in Amelia's life and what she potentially could be seeing. She wakes up in tears and she starts saying, Mother Fortuna, you're a liar. One, we also see that Subaru's gone. He's not on the stool holding Amelia's hand like he was supposed to be. He's gone. And she eventually calls Puck a liar. She's like, Puck, you're a liar. And then she even's like, Subaru, you're a liar, and stuff like that. So the next morning, the people are looking for Amelia and stuff like that. Now Garfield comes up on Rom, and Rom's like, listen, or Garfield asks, like, what's going on here? And then Rom's like, Amelia is gone and we're looking for her. and stuff like that. So that's when Garfield starts looking around for her, stuff like that. But he's also looking for Ryuzu Shima. He goes back to his little hut. Ryuzu Shima's not there. Then eventually he goes to the Ryuzu, little graveyard thing. And then lo and behold, Otto is there. And Otto's like, well, it seems like the plan is coming to fruition. Let's see if you would like to be the host now, don't you? He gives kind of a sinister looking face, but again, this is all part of Subaru's plan, apparently. Now, Subaru eventually finds Amelia and even says, I figured you'd be here. Now, Amelia is, I guess, in the same area where Subaru tried to run after, that one Ryuzu at the start of the season when it went into that one hole when he first met Echidna and stuff like that, and when he came out and, Garfield was there. That's where she's hiding at, all alone and stuff like that. She's still recalling some things from her past. And that's when Subaru comes across saying, like, I knew you'd be here. And he said, okay, Amelia, let's talk. And that's where the episode ends off. And I'm guessing we're gonna get some answers. I did watch this episode on Verve, and there was one of the questions in one of the comment section on Verve saying, like, is there a reason why Subaru left her near her bedside? And apparently somebody replied by saying, all of those answers will probably be revealed in the next episode. It will have something to do with why Subaru left, as well as what's going on with the Puck stuff. So I'm guessing we're gonna find out what's really going on, because I'm even still at a loss of words. I'm like, okay, why did he leave? But again, this is probably all part of Subaru's plan and stuff like that. So far, this was a good episode. I enjoyed it, and we dove into a little bit of the backstory of Amelia here. And some interesting things, and the fact that the bet placed on by Subaru to Roswaal is a way to say, okay, I got you this time, let's do this thing. So Subaru's going to try to do it try to save the people of the sanctuary and the mansion. Again, I don't know if he's going to be able to do it, but I have an idea of how he might be able to take care of the Great Rabbit, because I hinted at this earlier in the episode when he was talking to Ryuzu. We know that the Ryuzus are made of mana, and we know that the Great Rabbit is clearly attracted to a lot of mana. So I'm feeling like they're going to use the Ryuzus as a lure to get the Great Rabbit to focus on them. And then, that's when they're gonna do some sort of big attack to take out all the Great Rabbit in one shot. That's the only thing I could come up with, but that's my guess. Again, still, regardless of that fact, it was a good episode. Hopefully I don't have to see a freaking gruesome rabbit scene again going forward, because I do not like those rabbits. So yeah, but this was a good episode, a good start to season 2, part 2 of ReZero. And yeah, so other than that, ReZero's back, and I can't wait to see next week, because this series is so damn good. Anyways, guys, this has been Camera 15. If you guys like the video, leave a like. Put in the comment section your thoughts on this week's ReZero episode and your hypes levels for ReZero coming back. Again, do not post spoilers regarding anything upcoming in the future. Well, I guess you say what to expect in terms of the light novel readers who know what's going to go on. If you're checking out this video, please do not post spoilers, because I'm only an anime only. I've never read the light novels. So yeah, but okay. Anyways, hit that subscribe button if you want to get more ReZero content, as well as if you are subscribed to the channel, hit that notification bell icon to get updates or any updates to your inboxes of whenever I upload to the channel. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. Hopefully you guys are having a great rest of your day. Hope you guys are staying safe out there. So till then, I'll see you guys in the next video. See you guys. Peace.